Hello and welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. I'm Vasam Ismail, and of course, yes, it's always nice to do a show on Valentine's Day. And of course, I've got a few interesting guests in the studio, which I would like to introduce and to name them. And this is Mr. Kumudu Fonseca and Miss Nisansala Jayavira. Good morning to all of you. How are you guys feeling today?
Good morning, Vasam.
And it is Valentine's Day. I mean, I got to ask you this question. Any plans?
Well, we're quite enthusiastic about what we have coming up for the 16th.
Okay.
But wish you a very happy Valentine's.
Well, I've got to also ask you this question now. I need to know. You are wearing red, right? Was that planned because it's Valentine's Day, or was it just,
an
quite
absolute
random?
coincidence. An
absolute coincidence.
Yes.
Okay. Just to give you a little introduction to the two people who we have as guests. They are from a school in Doha, Qatar, and I believe Mr. Kumudu Fonseca is the founder and chairman, and Miss Nisansala Jayavira is one of the chief drama teachers at the school in Doha, Qatar. Would you be able to just tell me and our viewers about a little bit about the school?
Yes.
Thank you, Vasam, for first of all having us here. And we have started the school 12 and a half years ago. We started with the tiny thoughts with a school for Montessori. And we grew for last 12 and a half years, and we are getting now the first batch coming out of the school and looking forward for their aspirations. So we have come here in a long way with a good team of teachers, and we are lucky to have Sri Lankan teachers in Qatar, and we had been inspired by most of these educationists who came with us to do the right thing for these children. And we had been not only doing as an education institute, we were able to unite many families in Qatar. And single parents is an issue, and we see that, and we want to see families build together. So by having this school in Qatar, we were able to today join about 400 families minimum.
Oh, that's lovely.
720 children now. It will be by next year we are expecting to be 850 children.
Okay, and this school, I believe, is the Stafford Sri Lankan School in Doha, Qatar. Now, I got to ask you this question. The students there, are they mainly Sri Lankan? Because, the name of your school does go as Stafford Sri Lankan School. So is it mainly catered to Sri Lankans, or do you welcome all students, or how does it work really?
Now, the school have got about 97% is Sri Lankan students.
Okay.
And here we run a British curriculum integrated with Sri Lankan curriculum as well. We are grooming the children to be alternatively go for any curriculum exams. And here we also include like languages. We have Sinhalese, Tamil, Arabic taught in the school. At the same time, we encourage, we have like Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, in Islam taught in this school. So it's a fine opportunity in that part of the world. It's a great opportunity for our children to live in harmony together.
And the staff there are mainly Sri Lankans?
100% teachers are Sri Lankans.
Oh, okay.
And it paved the way, these teachers, we have a staff about 43, and their funds is coming to this country. At the same time, having this school, we are able to bring them children back home, because if they have to go for another national school, they will not get the culture values and language barriers will be there, so they will be groomed not to come back. They might opt to go to some other country. What we want these children to be coming back here.
Okay. Nisansala, I've been made aware that the two of you flew in from Qatar yesterday.
That's right.
We've got a big project coming up, right?
Yes, we do.
And this is something to do with stage theatre?
That's right.
So, okay, can you just tell me a little bit about that?
Definitely. Our project is actually titled the Sri Lankan Tour of Stafford Sri Lankan School, Doha. And last night we came to Sri Lanka we accompanied 71 students. And we hope to have a theatre production, and it will be staged at the Mahinda Rajapaksa Theatre, Nelumpokuna, on the 16th of February, that is this Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Now, the production, if I give you some details about the production itself, it's an adaptation of Mamma the musical. I'm sure you've heard
Yes,
of Mamma the
definitely,
musical. And it's titled Sophie's Story. We've changed the script accordingly in order to suit and cater to the school, and since we are doing it with students.
Now, Sophie's Story is something that you guys came up with, or is it an adaptation done by...
It's an adaptation that we are the ones who actually recreated the script, so to speak. What we have
when
done...
you mean we, who was really involved in it?
Well, we selected, as in the staff members. We have a production team that we put together in order to come up with this, and we were planning to have this particular production in September last year, and we staged it then first initially, and then we thought of bringing it to Sri Lanka. Why we have titled it as Sophie's Story is because we are focusing on a young girl who is giving her level best, or trying her level best, in order to find her dad on the most important day of her life, which is a marriage. So it's built, the theme, the plot is built around unity of the family, friendship, love, and also a sense of understanding and a sense of forgiveness as well. That is why we have selected this particular title. Why we selected this particular drama is because it's a musical. We have song, we have dance, we have acting. And this is a wonderful opportunity for the kids to come out with all their innate talents and abilities. And what we have created right now is a small platform for them to experiment as well as experience a little bit of theatre.
So when it comes to the cast, I'm sure it's a large cast that we're talking about, right, to do a production of this nature.
Yes,
and especially you said that this is going to be at the Nelum Pokena.
That's right.
And I mean, all our viewers know that the Nelum Pokena is, compared to a lot of theatres in Sri Lanka, the Nelum Pokena is a fairly large one.
Yes.
So how many in the cast are we talking about?
We have 71 in our cast, and these children are from grades 4 to AS level. Our oldest student is a senior A-level student, and the youngest student is from grade 4. What we did was we had auditions for these children last December, and we selected them for dancers, for the songs, and of course the main cast for acting. And then when we put the production together, we were focusing on more than making it perfect. We thought, okay, let's go ahead and give them the opportunity. Let's allow them to try it out. And they performed brilliantly in September. When we performed in Qatar on the 30th of September, we performed at a venue called the Qatar National Convention Center, which is very similar to Nelum Pokena. It's a state-of-the-art theatre there. And once with the smashing success over there, we thought, well, why not visit Sri Lanka?
Okay, I'm going to throw a tricky question at you.
Yes.
The two of you, actually, right? I mean, the two of you are Sri Lankans, mainly from Sri Lankan backgrounds, and of course you would have gone through the education system in Sri Lanka, and you know how it works when it comes to especially disciplining kids and teaching kids in Sri Lanka. There are some people who respect it, there are some people who are against it. Of course people are entitled to their own views, and you are managing a school, a Sri Lankan school, which is in Doha, Qatar. In your words, would you be able to tell me what is so unique about your school compared to the kind of Sri Lankan education system here?
In fact, I will take that question because I always stress to the management of the school, I'm a board member and I'm the chairman. I always say discipline number one, education comes second for me in the school. Because if you're a disciplined person, you can always change in his education. But educated person cannot be disciplined. And there is a saying, if you cannot make a child at 5, you cannot make it at 40. So we have taken this as a theme. You use the word discipline, I adore that. And we had been very successful attracting many students. Even parents can afford to send them to a British school in Qatar. They opt to change them to our school, mainly because they understand now this is something that we have to thrive and bring in schools, discipline.
And also, I mean, since of late there's been a lot of talk about Middle East and Sri Lankans in the Middle East, and not necessarily very positive talk that has been happening in the past. I'm sure you are aware of the situation. In terms of having a Sri Lankan school there, and sending a Sri Lankan into a school which is managed by, say, the people from Doha or Qatar, what is the main advantage that a child would have going to the Sri Lankan school instead of, a school in Qatar?
One is we are bringing the children as Sri Lankan. If I take it, the mission itself coming to Qatar with this theatre explains why children should go with us.
Okay. So is there a lot of theatre in Qatar? Is it something that's explored there?
It is coming up. It is an art that is being popularized in Qatar.
But it's still a little bit conventional there, right?
It is,
and are stuff like arts and theatre encouraged there?
They do encourage it quite a bit because they have a couple of venues. For instance, there is a particular place referred to as Katara, and that's the cultural village. And what they do is they bring productions from outside and they perform it there. So it's quite they're quite liberal-minded in their point of view where arts is concerned.
Okay.
And where theatre is concerned, they do promote it quite a bit.
See.
Yes.
So also you were telling me that this project which you are doing, of course, tickets are all sold out, you said, and that even if anybody wants to, of course, great achievement to sell out for a big venue in Sri Lanka like Nelum Pokuna, and this is an English production.
That's right.
Right, and it's not that every day you get to see, even in smaller venues where English productions are sold out. And I believe you did have the tickets pre-sold before you got here, and the tickets were available online.
That's right.
How did you manage to draw a lot of attention, and how did you manage to sell tickets so successfully?
Before I get into that, Wazam, this entire project, since its inception in 2010, when we had our first production, which was an adaptation of Beauty and the Beast in Doha, is the brainchild of Chairman.
Okay.
Why he initiated this project was for the sole purpose of enabling these children to somehow take responsibility for their action, as well as understand that they do have an innate talent as well. Now, what we did with regards to the DSL tour is Chairman addressed the parents and he informed them about the project as to why we have this particular project. One of the main reasons as to why we are coming to Sri Lanka is to also collaborate and have a cancer awareness walk to create early detection and to make awareness about the advantages of early detection. So once a performance is done, we hope to have a cancer awareness walk from Nelum Pokuna to Vihara Mahadevi.
So there's a walk happening.
That's right. So if the production is supposed to end at 5:30 approximately, and we will have a silent procession up to Vihara Mahadevi Park the moment the production
let me stop you there. Now the proceeds for the show, it's going in on behalf of cancer patients?
It is actually going to the Cancer Research Foundation of Sri Lanka.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It is to bring a cancer awareness program. In fact, we lit the first lamp with Kumar Sangakara in Doha. It was a week ago.
Okay.
He toured there and he came to the school, he did that, and it made a big bang. And as you rightly said, we sold the tickets of the show in early. We were able to sell even the lantern. Now today what we are very concerned, in order to make it a very successful one, having got the understanding cancer is so advancing more than what we think, spreading among people, it's time to think and make it slow down by being aware and taking early detection of it and making medicines available for poor or rich, for anybody to come out of the problem.
Okay.
So we are very concerned on the 16th, just after the show, 5:30, to see people gathering together for this needy cause.